What's up, everybody? It's Jason. Welcome back to the channel. I'm sticking with the 30 and 30 theme, and today we're at day 5. Okay. If you want to see what happened, what teams I went over in the first 4 days, take a look in the description down below, and take a look at my other most recent videos, my 2021 MLB free agent predictions and the contract predictions, and a couple other videos down there as well for your enjoyment. If you're new to the channel, welcome. If you like great baseball content, subscribe to that channel right now. Hit the bell next to it so that you don't miss. I'm going to be doing the next 30 days, one team every single day for the next 30 days, what their outlook and what I think they should do versus what I think they will do this offseason. So I'll be getting to your team at some point, whoever they are. I'm doing every team. But you can also take a look at the 100-plus videos that I already have out for your enjoyment as well. So I appreciate your support either way. Please let me know if you subscribe in the comments down below so I can thank you personally. I appreciate that. If my regulars, thank you so much for continuing to watch and support the channel. I wanted to just make one comment before I go over the St. Louis Cardinals, who are going to be the team of the day. When people make comments, whether it be responding to me or responding to someone else, all I ask is that you be respectful to each other. Okay, we can disagree and stuff like that, but if you're going to start being, rude or nasty to somebody, I'll block you immediately, and you'll never come back on the channel. Period. Okay. Hope you respect that. But I'm not going to let one knucklehead ruin it for hundreds or thousands of other people. I'm not going to do it. Okay, this channel is for the masses. It's for everybody. So, and I want to keep it that way. So we can all be cool. We can disagree. We can have great dialogue. We do. I respond to everybody. But let's just be cool to each other. Okay, that's all I ask. And I appreciate your consideration in that regard. Now, let's get to the topic of the day: the St. Louis Cardinals. Okay, we're at day number 5 of 30. Perpetual contender, the last couple of years they've been like right near the borderline of the playoffs. They're just making it in, and unfortunately haven't been able to get so far. Their team is getting older, but they have Paul Goldschmidt kind of anchoring the offense, and they have some young players, and they've done some pretty solid trades over the last couple of years. But they have 2 glaring free agents in this offseason, Colton Wong and Yadi Molina. To me, those are their glaring needs, and that's where I think most need to address the infield position of second base, or multiple positions, and catcher. Let's start with Colton Wong. Again, he's a great complement to the offense. He helps take some of the load off of Paul Goldschmidt's shoulders. We can't just have him anchoring the whole offense without anybody else to kind of complement or back him up. And I think Colton Wong's been a good, solid player for them. And one of the other things I appreciate is his intensity. He plays all out, he hustles, and he does all the little things. And those are the types of players that people just grow to love. Okay, he endears himself to a lot of fans, and that's, I think, something that the Cardinals will miss if they don't bring him back. And I do think they should bring him back. But that said, with the crazy financial climate that we're in now, the Cardinals have expressed a desire to lower payroll or cut spending. And I can't really blame them or any other team, because teams lost boatloads of revenue. MLB lost, I think it was $3 billion this year in revenue because of COVID and not having fans and concessions and parking and all that stuff. So, and merchandise sales from their stadium and blah, blah, blah. So, if you average it out to 30 teams, that's $100 million per team on average. That's a lot of money, okay? It's not $10 million per team. That would be $300 million. It's $100 million per team. So you got to keep that in perspective as well. I would not be surprised if most of the top free agents get a 1-year deal, or a 1-year deal with an option. I do think some guys will get a 2, 3, or 4. At the very top 5, maybe 1 or 2. You'll see that in my predictions down below. I see the majority of the folks getting 1 or 2 year deals, which I can see because of the following year. Things should be significantly back to normal. But hopefully, at least we'll have some type of fan capacity in 2021. But they have expressed a desire, and I do think, they should re-sign Colton Wong. But I unfortunately, I have him going to somewhere else. I think a team was just going to be willing to spend a little bit more for him. He'll go to probably another contender, and be great for them as well. It's unfortunate, but I do have them the Cardinals bringing in somebody like Chris Owings, okay, who's been with the Diamondbacks. Also reliable infield player, plays multiple positions, not as at the level of a Colton Wong, but not far below it. But that's the type of player, a complimentary player, I can see them bringing in. Would I be surprised if they traded for someone like Nolan Arenado? No. Okay, his contract's locked in, and they could probably offload prospects and a different contract to bring him in to complement Goldschmidt, which would be crazy. they have made bigger moves. I mean, they traded for Goldschmidt, and I didn't expect that. So, I would not be surprised if they made a huge trade, or for someone like Chris Bryant or whatever. Um, they're still going to be perpetual contenders every year. They're going to spend. But that said, even the high payroll teams lost a boatload of money too, and I think some more significant moves will probably be made via trade than free agency this offseason, and maybe even next offseason. So people may hate to hear that, but that's just the unfortunate reality. I could be wrong, and just like my free agent predictions, I mean, nobody gets 50% of them right. Nobody gets 100% of them right. Not even Peter Gammons or Joel Sherman are the experts on MLB or ESPN. But it's still fun to do it. It helps all the fans put their GM hat on and be creative, and we have a dialogue about what we think our team wants to do, and because we care about our team and we love the sport. So, but that said, Chris Owings, I can see them bringing, or somebody else like Chris Owings. But he's a guy that can plug in the spot and replace Colton Wong. So, catching, I do think they should bring Yadi Molina back. Obviously, he's been with them for 17 or 18 years. He's been their catcher, their franchise catcher. He's a first ballot Hall of Famer, no doubt. He's still an elite backstop. He still can call great games. I think he'd be ideal developing younger pitchers, a combination of young pitchers and veteran pitchers. And I do think, unfortunately, that he'll probably move on. Would I be surprised? He's expressed a desire for a 2-year deal. That's why I say that. And with Cardinals cutting spending, or very likely cutting spending, he may not be offered more than a 1-year deal from them, or there's maybe an outside chance he'll get a 1-year deal and an option for a second year. Who knows? But if somebody gives him 2 guaranteed years and a contender, I could see him moving on. It would stink for to see him move on from the Cardinals, but I could see that happening. So it's just baseball, it's business, and again, if he wants a chance to play for a World Series, and I don't see, unfortunately, the Cardinals contending for a World Series in the next 2 years. Based on what they do right now, but they could make shrewd moves as well. I can see them going to a team that is a legit contender for a World Series and being there for the next 2 years and hopefully finishing out his career with another ring. But we'll see what happens. I mean, I do think he'll move on, like I said, and I could see the Cardinals bringing in somebody like a Mike Zunino, who was with Tampa Bay, and he was one of their top platoon catchers, and he was a good, reliable, solid piece to that team. He platooned with that other catcher. I don't remember his name, but it worked for Tampa Bay. Okay, and again, Zunino's not a first ballot Hall of Famer at this point, like Molina is, but he's a solid catcher. He knows how to call games, and he'd be a solid replacement piece for St. Louis should they move on from Yadi Molina. So he's the guy that I see them bringing in, and as more than I see them re-signing Yadi. But I get St. Louis fans have emotional tie to Yadi, and it makes sense. I mean, he's their Johnny Bench, he's their Mike Piazza, he's their Yogi Berra, so I get it. But we know the unfortunate nature of business too, and the baseball and the world business side. So, do I hope he stays there? Yes. Can I see them moving on? Also, yes. Unfortunately, sorry if that offends some people, but it's just the landscape that we're in right now in baseball. It's a very odd world, and even though it was a good year, we had great playoffs. I see some surprising, either some surprising people moving on, or some people surprising trades and things like that happening this offseason, because people are going to need to either offload assets, or people are going to maybe start a reshuffling or rebuild or something. I don't know, but we'll see what happens. I mean, so those are essentially the two moves that I think will likely happen or should happen. If you enjoyed this, hit that subscribe button. Always hit the subscribe button especially if you're new here. Hit that bell next to it. I'm going to be going over all 30 teams, like I said, every single day a new team. So I don't want you to miss out on your team, because I'm doing every one of them. So hit the bell next to the subscribe button as well. Hit them, just boom, boom, hit them both. That way you don't miss it. And always take a look in the description down below. I have a lot of videos there. And again, my regulars, you're the best. The next team I'm going to go, I have it right here on my list. I will tell you right now, just so that you know. I'm sticking in the theme of the Central right now, the NL and AL Central. It's going to be the Minnesota Twins. Okay, that's going to be another interesting video, because they have some needs, and they're at the point right now where they haven't won a playoff game, and they've been to the playoffs a bunch of years. They haven't won a playoff game in like the last 6 playoffs. So some moves need to be made there, obviously. And we'll talk about it in the next video. So stay tuned, be safe, and I'll see you then.